Have you ever talked to an AI and felt like you were just starting over every single time? Well, what if we could give it a real memory? Today, we're not just talking about it. We are literally looking at the blueprint for an AI's brain. This is how you build an agent that doesn't just know facts, but actually knows you.
And hey, welcome to our 5-minute breakdown of Day 3 of the Kaggle AI Agents course. The stuff we're covering today comes straight from the folks at Google and Kaggle, so you know it's the real deal. We're going to get into the actual architecture that turns a basic, forgetful chatbot into something that feels genuinely intelligent.
All right, let's kick things off with a problem that I know you've run into. You have this amazing, detailed conversation with an AI. You lay out all the context, and then on the very next prompt, poof, it's gone. The AI acts like it's never met you. Why on earth does that happen? It all comes down to one really important word: stateless. See, large language models are fundamentally stateless. You can think of it as their Achilles heel. Every single time you send a message, it's like you're starting a brand new conversation from scratch. The model has absolutely zero memory of what you just said. So to fix that, we need a much better plan.
And that plan, it's not about just writing a slightly better prompt. No, it's about preparing the perfect workspace for the AI to think in. I want you to imagine we're setting up a master chef before they cook a really complex 5-star meal.
And this slide just nails the difference. See, basic prompt engineering? That's like just handing the chef a recipe card. Yeah, you might get a decent dish. But what we're talking about here is context engineering. That's like preparing the chef's entire kitchen, their mise en place. Every single ingredient chopped, every tool laid out, everything perfectly ready to go for the specific task at hand. It's a whole different level of preparation.
So what goes into that perfect setup? Well, it's all of this stuff. We're dynamically pulling together the system instructions, the definitions of any tools it can use, your long-term memories, facts it can look up from the outside world, what the tools just did, and of course, the recent chat history. All of it gets assembled and handed to the AI for every single turn.
Okay, so if that's the master plan, how do we actually organize all this information without it becoming a giant mess? This is where we have to get smart and separate what the AI is thinking about right now from what it needs to know for the long term. And this slide right here, this is the secret sauce. Just think of it like this. A session is like a messy workbench. It's temporary. It's got all the notes and tools and scraps for the project you're working on at this very moment. But memory? That's your organized, clean filing cabinet. And here's the key. When you're done with a project, you don't just shove the entire messy workbench into the filing cabinet, right? Of course not. You clean it up and you file away only the most important insights for later. Now, to make this even clearer, let's put memory side by side with something you might have heard of called RAG. Think of RAG as a research librarian. It's an expert on static, factual information about the world. It makes the AI knowledgeable. But memory, that's like a personal assistant. It's an expert on dynamic, specific information about you. Its goal is to make the agent personalized, and you absolutely need both to build a truly great AI agent.
So, this is the big question then. How do we actually build that filing cabinet? How does the agent take that messy conversation from the workbench and automatically turn it into clean, useful, long-term memory?
It all happens in this little 3-step pipeline that runs in the background. First, another AI model sifts through the noisy conversation to extract only the meaningful bits. Then, it consolidates that new information with what it already knows. It'll merge facts, update things, or even delete old memories that aren't true anymore. And finally, it stores that curated knowledge away in the filing cabinet for later. But here's the golden rule, the absolute most important part of making this work in a real product. This entire memory process must happen in the background, asynchronously. Why? Because the user should never have to wait for the AI to remember something. The agent has to feel instant. So it responds to you first, and then it goes and tidies up its filing cabinet behind the scenes.
All right, let's put all these pieces together. Because when you combine these ideas, you get a system that completely changes what an AI can do. This is why all this architecture actually matters. So here it is, the complete blueprint. Context engineering is the master plan that sets everything up. The session is the temporary messy workbench for the current job. And memory is that permanent organized filing cabinet for the long haul. This whole system is what takes an AI from being a simple tool that knows facts to being a true assistant that actually knows you.
And really, that's the most exciting part. We're moving way beyond just asking for facts.
We're moving into an era of truly personalized assistants. So now that you have the blueprint, the real question is, what kind of personalized AI are you going to build first?